Hi everybody, welcome to our fourth YouTube video. Today we'll be focusing on advanced blocking and moving. This is more for our senior students and higher level people, but feel free, younger students and beginners, to give it a try if you want. Whilst doing our blocks in this video, we're also going to focus on three different principles. The first one is Jiku Ashi, which is a Japanese term meaning the pivoting foot, and the other two being Tai Sabaki and Ashi Sabaki, which are body shifting and feet shifting. Very important part of our karate is when we are intercepting an attack, we need to move, shift our body, and then counter attack whilst using the correct block. Thanks again to all of our students that have been watching these videos from our evening, after school and lunchtime clubs, along with your parents, families. Thank you very much for sharing, subscribing, doing all of that stuff. It really helps us. One thing to note is that when you click the subscribe button, if you press the little bell icon, you will actually be notified on your YouTube app every time we release a new video. Just a reminder that we'll be releasing new videos every Tuesday and Saturday for the time being. So if you'd like to keep up to date with those, make sure you click that bell notification. Students and parents, leave us a comment down below to let me know that you're watching. It's really nice to see who's doing these videos, watching these videos and practicing at home. Okay, find your space and here we go. Enjoy! Okay, before we actually incorporate any blocking, we're going to start with the correct movement. So what we're going to use here is a karate position called cat stance, and then we're going to transition from one side to the other, and we're going to focus on the body movement first before incorporating the arms. So if you start from a nice relaxed heikodachi position, which is the ready position with both feet straight or slightly in, bend your knees a little bit and just relax your body. You're going to utilize any space you have. Normally we would do a very big step with this position, but I don't have too much space, so I'm just going to do a small step, and the main focus is our hip work and our pivoting leg, which is going to be the one that's taking the balance of our entire body. Okay, so I'm going to start a little bit to my right, close to my sofa here, and I'm leaving some space on the left. So what you're going to do, as you step to the left, you want your foot to be facing the same direction that you are going. This is very important, and our body will automatically turn and you step here into the same position and direction. Your body will naturally go into this position here. Now we're going to pull this leg into this leg, into a cat stance. So this becomes the supporting leg and the twisting, pivoting leg. You want to pivot on the ball of your foot, which is just behind the toes, and you want to lift the heels slightly just so you can get that turn. Don't actually lift it off the floor, just take the weight off and put the weight into the front of the foot. So as I move here, I bend my knee, I take the weight into the front of the foot, I release the weight from my back leg, and then I glide across here. And as I want to turn into my cat stance facing the right 45 degrees, I twist and pivot on this foot using my waist, using my core to make the foot turn. So from here, this way here. The foot will automatically turn, and this right leg now becomes the front leg. And now I'm going to step across to the other direction and do the same thing. So my weight-bearing leg, my left leg, takes 100% of the weight as I move, and then as I solidify into the cat stance, the balance becomes more even. Although whilst we're in cat stance, you do want to maintain about 60 to 70% of the weight on this back leg, so that we can do things with this front leg here and then shift if we need, as and when. Okay, so take your time with this. Move your right foot now in the direction you want to go. Nice straight line here. Take the weight onto the front of the foot, into the balls of the feet. Right leg is now bent. Taking the weight here, my body is nice and relaxed and straight. You don't actually want to be leaning forwards or backwards. Keep this here. And then as I want to shift and twist, I take the weight completely into that leg and let my waist do the twist here, releasing the weight from my back leg here. Okay, so take your time. Cat stance is a very, very popular position in Goju-Ryu for doing kumite and like sparring with a partner. It's sort of one of the very traditional positions that we use to move around and fight, okay? So take your time. Let's do that a few times together. I'm going to count for you. And if you need to pause at any point, feel free to pause, go back, have a look again, and contact me with any questions, okay? So left leg across. 1. Twist the body, take the weight into the front and turn. Now, this foot, if you're a little bit taller, it can go a little bit longer. But the base position for cat stance is to put one foot directly in front of the other and then turn the back foot out like this, or pull the heel in depending on where your foot is, okay? I tend to go a little bit longer because I'm 6'1", so I need a bit more length to make me more balanced here. But you can adjust your position and feel what's right. This is obviously too long, it's not going to work. And this is anything behind your foot is obviously too short and you're going to lose your balance, okay? Okay, here we go, ready, step across, 2, and twist. So my hip is doing all of the work to create that twist. My waist is really flicking from one side to the other to generate that twist of my foot and of my entire body. Okay, here we go, 3, 4, 5. So you see, I'm just, for now, changing guards. I'm not doing any blocking or anything. I'm just changing each time I do it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there's a lot to process and think about there. You've got to think about the foot placement going in the same direction as your body. If you put this stepping foot at the wrong angle here, your knee will buckle, causing you issues in terms of injuries, and also your balance will be completely off. We utilise this same step in certain katas that we do. A very simple example is cipher. As we step 45 degrees here, we step in the same direction that we wish to go. We don't, because we know that we're going to go forwards, we don't step with our foot forwards like this, okay? You let your waist do the twisting, okay? So step and twist here, okay? So, utilising this same step, we're focusing on Jiku Ashi, which is the pivoting, supporting leg. We're also focusing on Ashi Sabaki, which is foot movement, okay? And also, or shifting rather, foot shifting. And also Tai Sabaki, which is the body shifting, utilising the hips and the upper body twisting here. We don't want to use the shoulders or overdo it with the shoulders, because you're going to have problems where, for example, you expose your back, you lose your balance if you twist from the shoulders here. So keep the shoulders nice and relaxed, hips nice and relaxed, knees nice and relaxed, and then you can twist from the hips like we're doing some salsa dancing, okay? Right, what we're going to do is now step that up, and we're going to include a kakiuki block, which is the wax on, wax off block that we did in the previous video for the children and the younger members. So it's a middle block coming on the outside here and catching. Okay, so someone's coming towards me. If I'm standing still and want to block their punch, I would catch here and then catch here, directing their punch to the outside with my arms. Now, the more advanced version would be for me to not stand still. I would use the body shifting and the block at the same time as my backup resource. The movement is the most important thing, okay? So from here, I'm going to make my space again. Let's do this 10 times. So step to the left, foot in the correct direction. 1, prepare the hands, catch, and as you twist into this cat stance, you block at the same time and catch the arm. So 2, here, okay? Okay, ready, step 2, catch, hip, starts to twist, fast, okay? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can actually feel a couple of errors myself in my own training which I need to think about. Sometimes my shoulders do stiffen up a little bit, and sometimes I'm just neglecting this angle a little bit that we were talking about. So we all make mistakes. When I'm stepping forward sometimes, I still fall into the habit of stepping into the direction I know I'm going to be, which is a big error. You want to make sure you focus on that correct position, catch with the hands, keep the shoulders down and relaxed, and from there, twist fast. The ultimate length of the leg, mine varies sometimes, a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, but the important point is that you keep your balance and you don't feel yourself falling when you're coming into this cat stance position. If you do, what you're probably doing is leaning too much in either direction. Your weight might not be down enough on this supporting Jiku Ashi leg, or maybe a multitude of the reasons put together, okay? All right, so now we're going to increase, we're going to add a kick onto the end of the block, because every time we cover or block when we're doing kumite, sparring with a partner, we should always counter-attack back where possible. So anytime I'm moving or doing any covering technique, I don't want to just stand there. I want to cover and then hit immediately. So what we're going to do is create the block and then immediately add in a front kick with the same leg that you're blocking with, which will be the front leg. We're going to try to get that to the point where you don't hang around and wait here and then kick. You want to block and then smash immediately with that leg, because in a sparring scenario, if you're defending yourself or moving around with a partner, you don't want to block first, wait, have a cup of tea, and then punch, because it's too late. They're going to intercept your counter-attack, and it just won't work, okay? What we want to try to do, when I'm teaching the children, I often use the old water pump analogy. So when you're pumping the water comes out immediately. The same with the block. So as I block here, I punch immediately and the hip comes in, okay? Same with this, we're going to try and block and then kick straight away. So let's give it a try. So find your space, relaxed position, good posture. I sometimes look down a little bit when I'm focusing and talking as well, so that's a little error that I need to try to fix. Keep looking forwards, okay? So from here, I'm going to step to the side again, same position here. 1, initiate the block, come into the position, and then straight away, I know I've left it this time, but we're just showing the technique, lift the knee and kick. Toes up and really snap that leg forwards and backwards, and then get it straight back down into the same position, cat stance. You don't want to neglect where you're putting your foot when you're finished. It must come back to the same point. Okay, lots to think about, right? So let's try that together 10 times, all right? Here we go, ready? 1, step, twist, catch, block, kick. Okay, keep the elbows in, keep the body down, shoulders relaxed. 2, step, catch, block, kick. Okay, good. 3. Okay, I'm going to try and make it a bit smoother now. 4. 5. Lost my balance there, that was a pretty bad one. 6. That's better, keeping that weight. The correction I made there was I forced the weight further forward into my feet. On the bad one, where I lost my balance, I felt my weight going back into my heels. Okay? 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And relax. Good. Okay, let's move on. That was good. So we're going to now focus on one of the principles from our first kata, which is Gekisai Dai Ich, and also Gekisai Dai Ni, which is that first step and twist into the head block position for those people that know the kata. For those people that don't, it's quite a simple step. You just take the right leg forward from heikodachi, take a pixie step, we call it, which is one step in front, in line with your hips. The timing is, as soon as you drop that weight onto that foot, you then pivot and twist to your left, and your left leg will be forward, and you will do a head block with the left arm. Okay, so I'll show you slowly. So I step forward, and then immediately take the weight, twist, catch, and block. My weight drops and sinks, tighten the thighs, the stomach, the lats, and block strong, okay? Always focusing on not going with my head forwards, backwards, or sideways. Imagine you're a puppet being held by a string, and you can turn this way, and you can go up and down, but you can't go like this. This is what is bad for our karate, is this movement, because one motion like this, and if you've got a good partner who you're fighting with, then they will either sweep you or throw you or kick you or punch you in a vulnerable position because your balance is off. So we need to keep this central, and then we can twist this way on a pivot, and we can move up and down if we need to, uppercut, different movements, yeah? But do not go like this with your hips and head, okay? Right, so let's give that a try. So take your time, one or two more slowly. I step forward with my right, I begin to catch, and then I take the weight onto the front of the feet, and I twist with my waist again. I don't try to twist with the feet, because then you will just lose all balance and your weight will come up. If your weight is down correctly, your hips must do the work. From here, I can't move my feet. If I just try to twist my feet, I can't move them. If I use the waist and generate a very big twisting movement with my waist, along with the arms doing the block, then your feet will just go with the waist. Okay, so give it a try. So catch, cover with this, and twist the waist and block. Okay. We talked about the position of the head block in a couple of the different videos, so make sure you're focusing on good basics. But right now, the Jiku Ashi and the twisting of the body and the Tai Sabaki, the Ashi Sabaki is what we're focusing on with the blocking, okay? So let's try that 5 times on the left and 5 times on the right, okay? Ready? Ich, and back. Knee, and back. Sun, and back. Keep your weight down. Shi. What I'm doing is actually giving tips based on what I think I'm doing wrong. So I'm focusing on my errors, my training, and then trying to help you guys to focus so you don't make the same mistakes as me, okay? Okay, one more, ready? Go. And back. Right, now in the kata we do the first 3 movements, and then after that we go to the right and we do the same thing to the right, okay? So what we're going to do, we'll just start from here again, but this time we'll go to the right. So we're going to put our left leg forward this time and repeat exactly the same thing. So I'll do it once slowly, left leg forward here, catch, cover, and twist using the hips, and here. Very hard to do it slowly, of course, because you need that fast movement to actually make the feet twist, okay? Ready? 5 times fast. Ready? Ich. Back. Knee. And back. Try to keep the kime on the end of the technique. There's that strength and tightness on the end of the technique. While you're moving, you should be very relaxed and flowy to get that speed and sharpness. And then as you make connection with your opponent, either with a block or a strike or a kick, you tighten up the correct muscles, which of course we've talked about is not up here. You want to be loose up here, but you want to tighten these lats, tighten the stomach, tighten the legs, tighten the butt, so that everything solidifies. And then as you move on to the next movement, for example in the kata, and you punch, you relax so that you can move fast again. It's very, very hard to change the muscles so quickly, but this is what we're trying to work on, okay? ready. I've forgotten how many we've done, so we'll do 4 more. Knee. San. Chi. Go. And relax. Okay, good. So we're utilising Sanshin there, of course, which is a different position. Before we were utilising cat stance, which is good for fighting and good for moving. Sanshin, not just the position, but the entire concept of Sanshin is so important to Goju-Ryu and what we do. So if you're interested in that, please contact me or do a little bit of research on your own, and you can find out a lot more about Sanshin, the principles behind it, and the entire, for example, there's an entire kata based on Sanshin and called Sanshin, okay? So today we focused on those 3 principles of movement. The blocking you can change and you can vary it, but the movement within blocking is really important. We can do 50,000 different blocks, but if we don't understand how to move and how to use the blocks with a partner when they're attacking us, then the blocks become redundant. They just become standing kind of dance moves that we don't really know how to use, okay? So focus on that body from the feet, your roots, all the way up through the hips. One of the most important sections is this core, keeping the back straight, keeping the shoulders relaxed, the eyes and the head straight and forwards, and then you will get a nice understanding of these concepts. Very difficult to do. It seems easy, but it's not so simple. All right, we're going to leave it there for today. Just 2 concepts, 2 movements that we're doing using 3 different concepts. So take your time, practice on those things, and let me know how you get on. All right, thank you very much, guys. Hope you enjoyed that one. A little bit more difficult technically, but once you practice, you'll start to understand bit by bit how to move that body. And what I would recommend is record yourself doing some of this training, have a look at the videos, and then you can pick up on your own errors, such as shoulder movement, head movement, loss of balance, different bits and bobs like that, and you can try to figure out where you're going wrong. Please keep sharing these videos. It really helps us to try to get people moving and active during this period, and we hope that helped you. Thanks very much. See you next time.